everyone, Coach Wheeler, hurdles coach at Indiana Tech. I'm going to do another really quick video review here. I have somebody that sent me a video just recently, and I'm excited to say that she's going to be joining Tech this upcoming fall. Looking forward to having her come into school, and I'm going to do a real quick video review of her. Now, I know what kind of times she's run, but I've never seen her hurdle before. So this is going to be very interesting to see, and I'm really looking forward to digging into what we've got going on here. And again, like always, when I get these videos, I normally just watch them on my phone, and so I don't get them on my system here, and I don't have the ability to be able to break them down as quickly. So again, this is the first time I'm going to stop it in slow motion, and I can kind of give you a bird's eye view of what I look for and what I see, and what things that are really positive and what things we're probably going to have to work on this upcoming season. So sit tight here and we'll get rolling into this new video. Okay, so we've got the video up here now. It was taken from a cell phone, so it's a little grainy when you open it up here. So it's going to be difficult for the first 3 hurdles here because I just reviewed it, and difficult to see. She's actually right behind the fence here, and you can see the blinking mark, but that's where she's going to start from. So we'll watch it full speed, and then I'll quickly break it down here. You'll be able to see her once everybody gets rolling, and you'll kind of take a look at where she is right here. She's outclassed the field, that's for sure. A couple things that I'm seeing that we're going to need to work on, and a lot of positives in this as well. Some decent speed, some decent hurdling mechanics, and let's get rolling here, and we're going to slow this down. So I'm going to back the speed down, and we'll take a look at what we've got going on here. So up in the set position, we should run behind that fence there. That's really difficult to see. We're going to wait until we get through this hurdle here. Okay. Man, it's tough to see. So what I'm going to look for first is knee drive and attack angle. Okay, a couple things here. Straight leg. I want that knee to be past 90, and it's going to be really difficult for her to pass 90 since this angle from the knee to the hip to the shoulders is so high. And I don't know if it's because she doesn't have a chop step and she's too close to the hurdle while she's floating. But that's the first thing that I'm noticing here, is there's a little bit of a float in there. She does press really well. She holds that press pretty well here, and this girl's right in front of the stands. It makes it more difficult to see. And then this lady here standing right in front of where okay, so the first thing I'm noticing here is, look at where force impact is here in front of her hips. I want that foot to get down a little further away, so it should probably be a shoe back, and she might even be reaching for that hurdle, and that's why. Yeah. So the first thing that's going to happen is when that foot plants is her hips are going to rise, just like a pole vault. So now she's in the air, way high here, hurdle clearance here. This is too high. Again with the press, and that might be the reason why she's not getting speed off of the hurdle, is because of how high she is. I want that press to be crazy aggressive and get right on top of that knee and drive that knee into her chest. She holds it really well, but she's not. She's really patient on top of the hurdle, and I really like that. What I mean by being patient is she stays in that press position until her hips cross, and then she comes off. And just because of the height that she has on the hurdle, now when she comes down and she has touchdown, which is underneath the hip, her knee collapses here. And I can tell by the way the hips drop when she's off there. And we need her to be straight up in the air. Let's look at the upper body. Good wrap arm. I can't see her free side. It looks like it's right here on the side. And what I mean by the press here, I want to be really specific. The knee to the hip, and then the hip to the shoulder. Let me take this off really quick because I didn't give this enough opportunity here. So it's going to be knee to hip, and the hip is further back here, and then the hip to the shoulder. So she does have a press, but I want it to be more aggressive. So that's what I'm saying about the knee, hip, and shoulder angle, and I want her to, I want those to be closer to one another. So we'll get rid of that, and then we'll continue on. Good holding of the press. Now another thing that I'm not liking is she has tucked that knee under the butt. So now we're looking at the ankle, hip to ankle, knee to hip angle here, and I want this shoe to be outside here. I don't want this, I want it to be more of a 90-degree angle than it is the angle that it's at right now. So I want her to stay open just a tad bit more on top there. And when she gets touched down, this is the foot here, she's a little in front. And if she dives off of the hurdle, she's going to get, and she's more aggressive with that press, she's going to get a lot more push into the track. That's why her knee is collapsing there. Upper body rotation. She does a really good job on the free side, and if that's her hand, that's really, really nice. And there's not a ton of rotation there. I mean, there's a little bit here just because of how aggressive she is with that wrap arm, but I'm really liking that free side. Let's see, next step. A little bit of a reach, so I want that heel, knee, and hip all to be on top of each other, and then the shoulder as well. And you can see we're a little in front here, and that's probably why there's a little bit of a reach when we go into our what should be our cut step. Yeah, we're reached out in front here, so we're reaching for the hurdle, and the reason why she's reaching for the hurdle is not because she doesn't have the speed, one, and secondly, it's not because she needs to reach to get to the hurdle. She's got plenty of speed, and that's obvious, and I know what kind of times she's run, so that's not the issue. The issue is what's happening on top of the hurdle, and that's why she's reaching in between the hurdles. And a lot of coaches can't struggle with the process of they struggle with the process of understanding why an athlete will reach between hurdles, and a lot of the times it's not because of speed. If you have the ability to run, a 12.5 to 13, let's say 11 to 12.5 in the open 100, there should be no reason why you can't get to this next hurdle. So in this one, the next one I'm seeing here is she's got that reach in front. Force impact is way in front of the hips here. So she's in front of the hips here, which are going to force. And watch this. I haven't even seen it, and I'll bet you her hips are going to start to rise instead of go forward. And let's watch it here. Yep, hips rise straight up, and that's why we're floating on top of the hurdle. So we'll need to work on being more aggressive with the press and driving the knee into the chest. We've got a straight leg here, which I would like to eliminate. And what I mean, there's a little bit of a bend in there, so it's not bad. But on this hurdle height with her leg length, she should be able to press pretty aggressively and keep that knee at a bent angle. So it's drive the knee to the chest, and then the heel here, it just casts over the top, and the hips travel. So as she's coming down here, the other thing that I am noticing is, look where that free side is now. It should not be shoulder, elbow, wrist. So she's got shoulder, elbow, and then elbow to wrist. Look at how far that distance is behind the shoulders. And she's not over-rotated, and the reason why is she has the core strength to hold that positioning when she's moving over the top. There's no real rotation there. But the energy that she is expending to hold that rotation in place, she's losing that energy on touchdown. And I'll show you here in just a second. Alright, so let's get rid of these, and we'll continue to go forward. Good sweep over the top of the knee. Again, heel tucked under the butt, and I want this angle to be open, knee to here, and it should be rotated out, not tucked under, it should be out, and that's going to be something that I'm going to be looking at. Touchdown in front, and now there's that little bit of a rotation coming off of the hurdle. So her shoulders are in this direction, and now watch, she's going to have to recover from that, and this is part of the reason why she's reaching between the hurdles. She's going to have to recover from that, and watch this wrist. It's going to cross in front of her body for her to regain her balance. Watch what happens. See that? Right? It's over in front of the body here. She's probably crossed the midline of her body, or right at the midline of her body, which is, you know, it's not terrible. And the reason why it's not terrible is because she's got really, really good core strength here. But there is an over-rotation that I'm seeing, and that's why she's continuously reaching for the hurdles. Again, chop step, way out in front, boom, there, heel, knee, knee, hip, hip, shoulders. This is not a good position right here. She's losing a ton of energy pushing into the track at this point. It's like a sprinter just opening up that stride length, and instead of tracking under the hip, it drops straight down, and you're losing strength because of what I call this break. And when there's a break, the hips are going to drop in this direction. The hips are going to drop here in this direction. And that's why there's a break in the knee. So that's going to be another thing that we're going to want to try to eliminate. She just needs to get as tall as she possibly can, like somebody's reaching under her shoulders to lift her up in the air. Let me get rid of these lines so we can move forward here. And then those hips are going to rise again. Wrap arm is too far back. Does a good job. That's a really good press there. And she holds it really long, which is really nice. And then that leg reaches out in front because she's over-rotated. Now you can really see the rotation from this angle here. And then watch, she's going to cross in front of her body. See that? See that arm? Watch the arm. The wrap arm side goes across her body to regain her balance. And if you have a really weak hurdler, and what I mean by weak is a physical weakness in the upper body, that it's going to force, they're really going to over-rotate, and they'll actually sit down or sit back off of the hurdle in this position here. Look at how over-rotated she is in that one as well. Okay, so I think we've got some understanding now. I know this kid is fast. I mean, we can see it when we're watching her, the speed that's there. So if we can fix these small mistakes, she's already, you know, a pretty quick hurdler here. We may be able to scrub time, knock some pretty significant time off of her hurdles here. Let's just pick it back up, and so we can see the speed in between. Even with her reaching and her dropping her hips, she's big and powerful and strong in the lower body side. That's why she's getting so much speed off of the hurdle, even with those improper positions. So this is a really great video to kind of take a look at. I mean, you can obviously that she's a very good hurdler. And if we can fix those little ticky-tacky things that are going on there, and it starts to snowball. Once you're doing one thing wrong, two other things are going to go out of place, and that's what's happening in this situation here. So that's kind of what I'm seeing there. So okay, yeah, we've got a pretty good video there. And, you know, guys, take a look at that and kind of, you can see some of the things that I look for when I'm seeing a hurdler, especially for the first time. And we've got some work to do, but if she really sticks with it and continues to develop her hurdle mechanics in congruence with the speed that she's getting in between the hurdles, there's a ton of potential there. I mean, she could be, you know, one of the top hurdlers in our division. You know, obviously she'd be able to make it to the finals of our conference meet, and the opportunity to maybe run in a national championship is very high there. So I'm really looking forward to working with her. And if you guys have any questions, you know, just reach down into the comments section down below, and I'll answer any questions you have if you have any. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe. And the more you subscribe, the more people get views of this, and the more I can help some potential coaches, hurdlers, or parents out if they need it. See y'all in the next video.